everyone, it's Juliana, and welcome back to my junk journal journey, or welcome to it if this is the first time you're stopping by to check this out. I've done several other videos already, taking you along with me on my junk journal journey as I've created the various parts of this journal. Not all the details are in the videos, but I'll talk through some of those here in this video as well. And I'll have the other videos linked in a playlist that I put together so that they're all in one place. But I had gotten into the junk journaling inspired by Louisa Heinzel. She has been a huge inspiration to me to kind of go out of my comfort zone a little, learn something new, and the process has been so fun. I've really enjoyed it, and my fingers are a little bit inky because I have started my second one, and I hope to share that with you at some point in the future as well. That one is kind of inspired by a trip I have coming up to England, so it has a little travel flair to it. So anyway, back to this one. I'm just going to kind of do a flip through of this and talk through some of the pieces that I put together, and yeah, just let you see how it turned out. So on the cover, I have a video that explains how I made the cover for my journal and how that all came together. But in the end, I ended up adding some ribbon to hold it closed, and I didn't think about that in the beginning, so I kind of had to figure something out to make it work. And in doing that, what I did is the decorative piece here on the front, I just glued the ribbon underneath it before I adhered that, and then I added another little just simple label die cut here on the back to do the same thing, so the ribbon's just adhered underneath there, and then those help hold the ribbon in place so that I can tie it closed, because otherwise it will just flop open, and this just kind of helps keep it nice and condensed. So on the front here is just a combination of some of the tickets and die cuts and the vellum that I created in some of the other videos. And then I just added in some Tim Holtz Ideology ephemera from various stashes that I have of those, kind of collected them and don't seem to use them as much as I think I would. So this has been, part of this journey has been helping me use some of those things that I like to buy and just look at. So here we have a little collage that I put together of some of those. So as we get into the inside here, I started, this is an envelope that I made. Well, I didn't make the envelope, but I bought the envelope. It's just a craft envelope that I got at the craft store. And then I added some stamping, die cuts, and these actually the little lines. I didn't have a stamp that did that, so I used a ruler and an ink pen and did that. And then adhered the envelope inside just with some fabric tape from Tim Holtz. And then inside here, I just decorated the front of the card, but you could certainly, journal or whatever on the inside there. And let's slip that back in. So as we continue on, just like I said, using little bits and pieces of things that I made in the previous videos or examples of those. But here's another little specimen slide, just layered on some Ideology ephemera. And inside here is one of the long specimen folders that I made and showed you. So yeah, I love how these turned out, and I probably will be making more of those in the future. They're just so fun. Another page just with the tickets and stamping and various ephemera die cuts that I have. Some more. This one I added some stamping and some stenciling with some oxide ink. Some more die cuts. This is a paper bag that I got in the trash saved it and added some stamping and a die cut here. And this paper, I don't know if I mentioned that in my previous videos or not, but this paper is out of the Tim Holtz travel folio, and there's like a little notebook that comes in there, and I just kind of deconstructed it and took some of those pages and added them in throughout here, and because they got a nice pattern printed on all the different pages, so this kind of adds a nice little fun touch in there. This has just got some stenciling added. Here's some more layering with some book page and a die cuts and ephemera and photos. There's some of the vellum that I made in one of the previous videos. This one was super inspired, the creation of this from Louisa. Here's another one, just some die cuts, more layering, collaging, just using up stuff, having fun in the process. Here's another little, this is a folder from, I think it's, let me look here. I don't know what it's called. I'll link it below. I can't remember. This is one of the new ones from Tim that has this little file folder in it. And then I just layered some different other die cuts and ephemera, one of the tickets that I made. And then inside here is more ideology ephemera again. And this little mini clip there to hold it on. This one's got some stamping, little die cut, more stamping here. A little more stencilings. So this was fun. I added this little mini tag and added some thread to it. And then sometimes like I'll leave pages blank because it was just seems like it was getting thick as I was going through and adding things. But this is a die cut, just kind of cut it and put part of it here, and then the other part of it's in the journal later on somewhere. But you could stick something in there if you wanted to hold it in place. Again, these are kind of plain. I guess I could go back and add something, but I probably won't. I think I kind of feel like this is finished for now. Made this little coin envelope. See if we can get it open here. And I took one of the die cuts that I shared in a previous video with the stamping and inking on it, and then just layered on some die cuts, once little vellum and a little stamp, and just a little fun piece in there to find. This is more of the vellum that I made, and this is the one where I did with the embossing, and it's just, yeah, it's such a cool bit. Love the texture, and just makes me happy to look at it. More of the paper bag with some stamping, stenciling. These are some of the transparencies, and I couldn't really sew these in because I'd already put everything together when I thought about doing this. So what I did is just sewed these together and then adhered it into the album. So it looks like it's stitched in here, but it's not. So you can see on the back, there's no stitching on the paper. So, but I love how that adds a little fun flair to things. Another little bit of die cutting and ephemera layered up here. Same here, just again, just dug through my stash and just had fun making the little collages that I put together on each page. Added some stamping here and there on some of them. Some of them I just went really simple, didn't do much at all, but I think it still adds a nice touch. And here's a little pocket that I made just using a scrap of paper, and put that die cut on there just to decorate the page a little more. So here's another little pocket I made. I just you know, put adhesive tape around the edges on, you know, the sides and the bottom so that the top was open, and then you could, you know, stick things in there. More of the vellum, and this is the paper bag again. Here's the other rest of that die cut I mentioned earlier. Just adhered the rest of it here. You could use that as a pocket, of course. More layering and die cuts, and this is a fun piece of paper I found. It kind of has a shimmery finish to it, and I was able to stamp on it with archival ink. And although it's not, I mean, this is black soot and it's not super dark on here, but I think it has a neat touch to things. This is another background die cut that I just took part of it and layered it there with those die cuts and that stamp. There's a little tab I added in here and a ticket. Oh, and this is just a stencil that you'll see here in a couple pages, but I used it on here before. It's one of these stencil cards. So, and I used it to just add a touch there. Here's another one of the file folders layered up with all kinds of die cuts and ephemera. And I love, this was probably one of my favorite ones too. I love the butterfly on the inside. This one I did stitch it into the paper before I put the the folder onto the page, and just added in various little bits of ephemera. This pocket is one of the ones I show you in one of my previous videos, and just got some of the tags I made kind of stuck in there. Here's more of that vellum. Again, oh yeah, good stuff there. Some stamping and stenciling. Other simple pages. Here's, oh yeah, this is the one I think I show in the video, if I remember correctly. The long specimen folder, I called it. Not sure if that's the right word, but and then just more die cuts layered up. Here's another one of those little stencil cards that I had from previous project, and I just stapled it on there. Another ticket. Here's more of that paper with some other stamping on it. More die cuts and ephemera. Made a good dent in my ephemera with this, but still more to go. So I'm gonna keep at it. So I'm having fun using it. These are some dies from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and they were just perfect to do these little photo frames. I don't know, I just love how they turned out. Just added a little label die with some stamping here, and this one's got a die cut one. Here's that stencil card I used earlier, and just layered it with a ticket and some die cuts. This is an old page from a book. I was able to get a few of those in here. The book I picked, the papers are very brittle, so I'd be kind of careful when I folded those in here. I had one crack and had to tear it out, so because it completely got destroyed sewing it in here, but it seemed like if I had it layered in between things, that kind of protected it, so it seemed to work out there. More die cuts and some of the vellum. Oh, and this is a little band there's a word for it, but I can't remember what it's called, but these little bands, and I need to put more of that kind of stuff in my albums. I didn't really think about it until I got towards the end. I was like, oh, I didn't do any in the beginning, but future albums, I'm going to try to remember to do some of those because it does make a fun, easy little way to tuck things in here. Just more die cuts and photos. These are just some of the stamping, the moths extra that I'd done when I was coloring all those for my specimen slides. Some more die cuts there. Oh, and this is a fun. This is another one of the tall envelopes that I adjusted the height for, which I share about that in my one of my other videos. And then I love these fit in there so perfectly. So added this little die here at the top. That's from Elizabeth Crafts. And I'll have everything linked down below with all the supplies if you're interested. And yeah, and then I just layered on some die cuts and tickets, and yeah, I just thought that turned out really fun. I love it. And some vellum, die cuts, and stamping. Oh, and this was a fun. This is the stencil card, and I added some die cut there and turned it into a little pocket. So that was kind of fun. Here's another one of those die cut backdrop or backgrounds that I'd used part of it previous page. Oh, it's back here somewhere. There. And there's the other half of it there. So then just layered on some die cuts and ephemera, and that's it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little flip through of my junk journal journey #1. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave me a comment, and I will get back to you. But I really appreciate all of you that have followed along with me during this journey, and I hope those of you that have been inspired to do your own will continue the journey and not get discouraged. I think so many times that happens to us as we start something new and it's challenging, that we tend to like, oh, let's just go back to the easy stuff. And you know, I for myself have found that sometimes that pushing myself to step outside my creative comfort zone helps me feel more creative once I get pushed through that. And I love what it ends up adding to my box of creative ideas to use with, you know, whether it's this journal, the junk journals, or making cards, or whatever I end up making. I just encourage you to keep at it and keep being creative and enjoying the process while you're at it. So, because that is definitely been the process for me here, but I have loved every minute of it. And I can't wait to share more with you in the future. So, see you soon. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. I'm truly grateful for you. I was wondering if you could do me a quick favor and subscribe to my channel or leave me a thumbs up or a comment. If you're feeling extra generous, I'd love for you to share about my channel with your friends. All of these things help out us YouTubers so much, and it would mean so much to me to have your support.